Hi, I'm Frank Cardona.
And I'm going to be Julien Rivero, and this is going to be our Lab 2, Exercise 1 for the Nmos and Pmos chips using a 2-input OR gate. And then this would be group 11B. And our partner Christian Garza wasn't able to make it, as an FYI. Okay, so this would be our truth table for the ORs. And I'll just mark it off as we go along. So when we have two off, an off and an off, it's an off, so we can mark that off. When we have an off and an on, which I put right here, we have an on. When we have an on and an off, we would have another on. And then when we have an on and an on, we have an output of an on. So this would be our actual wiring for the circuit, and this would conclude our first part with the 2-input OR gate. And then I'm Julien Rivero, and this is the second part for the Lab 2 using Pmos and Nmos to create a 3-input AND gate. So this would be our actual wiring for the circuit. And then this would be our truth table. And then we're gonna mark it as we go down the list. So if we had all three of them as low, which is 1, 2, and 3, it's going to be a low. So I can mark that. If we have a low, and a high, it's still going to be a low. If we have a low, a high, and a low, it's going to be a low. And then this is, if we have a low, a high, and a high, it's going to be a low. If we have a high, a low, and a low, it's going to be a low. If we have a low, a high, a low, and a high, it's going to be a low. If we have a high, and a low, it's going to be a low. And then if we have a high, and a high, it's going to be a high. And this concludes our Lab 2 using both the 2-input OR gate, the 3-input AND gate. And this would, just as a reassurance, this would be group 11B, involving Julien Rivero, Christian Garza, and then
Frank Cardona.
Frank Cardona.